Hello. So here is a snippet of working with Apollo. This kid is so excited to work with fresh food, treats, attention, just about anything. I also am slightly concerned that you dropped off a partial gazelle and not a little boxer puppy. The way that he stands on those back two legs is very similar to a gazelle going for browse. Um, I used to work at the zoo many, 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 many years ago. And the way that he stands up just reminds me of that. But no, this kid is doing really well. Definitely excited. And this is kind of what to expect the first week where he's going to be pushing boundaries and just trying to figure out what just happened and what's going on. But what I'm doing here is doing something called name game and also just working on engagement. So when he checks in with me, he'll either get a treat or the toy comes out. I have to ask for his attention and then he gets to go for it. I don't ask too many strenuous things in the beginning because it's all about bonding, building a relationship with the dog so that way it's a positive experience and not just work, 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 work. It's more of, ooh, well, let's play, let's do something. I get snuggles from you. This is a good thing. I'm also seeing just how distracted he can get when we're presented with something. So you can see where he focuses, he gets rewarded, and then off we go to do something else. Name game is where we load the name in and of itself as a command and setting the expectation that sitting and looking at the human is your new default expectation. So if you want something, you sit and look. You want to go through the door, we sit and look. You want a treat, you sit and look. It's the start of that practice, which he did pretty well with. Now, here I'm going to work on trying to introduce a down. It did not go well, to be honest. We were really distracted, and I got a couple hunches, so this is something that we'll work on. First and second days, I always like to run through all of our skills just to see where our baseline is at, and then as we progress, you'll get to see the progression themselves. So we're doing a little bit of play disengagement. So this is where if I stop the toy, he has to sit and look at me. As soon as the moment, like the split second he decides to do it, the toy goes flying. So it may seem like I'm pausing for just a second, but I'm really actively asking him, hey, what are you supposed to do? He offers it. We get to go. The kid's smart. He definitely offers the behaviors far quicker than I was expect. The eye contact is a little bit of a struggle, and you'll see it in a little bit where I have two treats in both my hands. I like to call it the existential crisis, where he has to go back and forth looking between the two because ultimately he just needs to look at me. So that did take a little bit longer than I was expecting, especially with how good he did sit here and throughout the beginning of their day. But enjoy this little snippet, and then I'll hop back on about halfway through. Okay, and here is our treadmill session. I like to include images of this. So we introduced it yesterday, and he wasn't a fan. Today we're walking on it, which is a huge progress. He's still not the biggest fan of it. You can kind of see the hesitation in his body language, but he's like, okay, I'll do this, I guess. He does get treats when we start this just to help him have a positive association to it. But because it is so hot outside, if I don't get him out of the facility by 7, it's too hot. It's almost too hot at 7. So this is one of the ways that we can reinforce leash skills, but also just get that exercise out of them. Now, the difference between a treadmill like this and a treadmill in a van that comes to you is that they actually encourage the dogs to run as hard and fast as possible. Here, I'm working on walking at a moderate pace, but it's all about that slip lead focus. Hey, you have to focus where your body placement is on this thing, as well as there's no tension on that slip lead. It's a little bit more of a mind game instead of just straight on physical running. But he's doing pretty well. I did add a snippet towards the end of this of we did 2 treadmill sessions, one in the morning and one in the evening. And you can see where he's looking like it's a fun, just different camera angle. So right here, here's the fun camera angle. Um, it's just a cute side view or looking up view. I try a couple different things with each client on filming just to get a new perspective, so you can kind of be a part of the process. But right there, he barked at me like, "Hey, give me my treat." Also, he kept trying to lick the camera, which was pretty funny too. In a little bit, you're also going to see our kiddie pool. So let's hang on for a second. Here is our kiddie pool. So this is where I have treats in there. You can kind of see where I actively threw more treats in there. I was trying to film this so it wasn't so static because he was so interested in this. He wanted to get the treats out of it, and then he'd pick up a ball and toss it at me, chase it, and then come back and try to get the treats. This is something that does mental stimulation, gets that sniffing going, but also makes him explore, which was a lot of fun. You'll see more of these different types of videos as we progress, but so far we're doing really good.